Hey guys and gals, let's take a look at the Atari Computer System by Lego. This is set number 10306, contains 2,532 pieces. And this is the Atari 50th anniversary. And yeah, I do remember these when I was a little kid. Not as fun as what we have today. So here's the back of the box. And it looks like it comes with 3 games, Asteroids, Explorer, and Centipede. Never played Explorer, but I played these 2 before. And I'll let you figure that out. So it looks like we get to make some kind of scene here where it slides out from the bottom. And this is a very heavy box. And the measurements are 33.5 centimeters or 15 inches and 22 centimeters in depth or 8.5 inches. So it's pretty big. Well, this is a very massive box. Well, I want to see what this looks like in person. So let's head over to the Lego table. First, let's start with the little micro build. So what we have in front of us is the Asteroids. And looks like we got ourselves our little spaceship shooting down the asteroids. And that's pretty much what these are, is micro builds. And we have the one for adventure. I've never played this one, so looks pretty interesting. We also have a little micro castle in the back. And this one does feature a little hidden Easter egg in the back as well. I think this is one of the very first games that Easter eggs were introduced. And we have the Centipede, and I played this one when I was really little. And it's a nice little micro build as well, except he does come off, and these little legs will come off if you're not too careful. So, and no, I'm not going to filter that out because some things do come apart on these, but the micro builds are pretty interesting. These will make great little conversation pieces. The Atari only comes with 3 games, so here we have Adventure. We'll take a closer look. And this is stickered. I was hoping these would be printed. Game Program. And yes, looks like you can almost blow in there like you used to do back in the old days. And they do fit in this nice little caddy. Here we have Centipede. Somehow my sticker's a bit discolored at the bottom here. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. It's even got the printing on the ends as well. And we have Asteroids, and this is by far my favorite just out of these 3 games. Pretty cool. Now the cartridge caddy is all brick built. So it's just basically, I can't say it's simple construction. Here, I'll just pop all these out and I'll show you. Everything's offset a bit. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's pretty well built. Now I don't know if regular Atari cartridges would fit in here, but this appears to be 1-to-1 scaled. So if you wanted to, you could probably make your own carts and add to the collection. And finally we have the Atari game console, and this is modeled after the 2600 series. Even down to the fake wood grain finish at the bottom, and the, I guess this is supposed to be gold trim. So this is pretty close to 1-to-1 scaled. So here we have the back with the various connection ports and such, and these are, I think, are supposed to be little switches. Haven't really sat down and played Atari in forever. I believe that this down here, including the lint that's on it, is a power jack. This one didn't come with that power adapter you plug in your TV and it would blow sparks out. This one's a little safer. And it pretty much more or less looks like it functions. So you got real working switches for, you know, on and off, color, black and white. Back then it just depends. What they call chroma dots. So if you put it to black and white, you wouldn't have that if you had a black and white TV. And then we got the select. These are just momentary, so they bounce. And then of course you have the reset. So it looks like it actually functions, right? If you want to play a game, you can just simply set this in here. Now sometimes these will break out, so you got to be very careful. Just gently set it in there. It will snap in place. Okay. And just gently remove it. If you yank it out too fast, like I said, these will come out. So the cartridges do actually lock in there pretty securely. In addition to all this, we even get a semi-working controller. So this does look like the real deal. Now there's some things that are a little bit fragile, like this does pop off and such. So we got the power adapter, and we can just plug this in the back here. It just snaps in place. It's pretty clever on how that goes in. And looks like we're ready to play video games. And this actually does feel like it works. Now you want to be careful because sometimes it comes right off, so you got to be careful. That's what it looks like inside. Now if you're interested in the complete build review, I do have it on my second channel. I'll have the link in the description for my second channel. But for the most part, it does work. Too bad the button doesn't click or anything, so this is just a 2x2 flat tile that's just in the corner. Now, in addition, there's one little hidden area in this, and this does slide open. I wish the original did that, but it didn't. So this, you can just pull out and a little scene comes up. So we got ourselves, looks like a retro little gaming living room. Pretty cool. Well, let's have a closer look. Here we have this gentleman playing a video game. He's got a controller in his hand and a soda and a stack of cartridges. And here we have the 2600 and what looks like a fairly modern TV. I don't know why they put that type of television in there. I'd have figured something with knobs or something would have been more appropriate for the theme. And over here we got ourselves a little kitty cat, a wall phone, and some roller skates. And some posters on the wall, and sadly those are stickered. I wish those were printed though. Here we have a boombox with a little minifigure and what looks like a VHS tape. So if this is in the late 70s, well, wouldn't we have a beta tape? Some don't even know what that is. Oh no, though, this does fit the theme. And this does easily slide back in. We just push the drawer and that just falls in there. And let's see if I can get a better position of that. And those are actually printed. I wish this whole thing was printed though, it would have been nice. More of a close-up of the switches. I mean, this is pretty seamless for what it is. And we all remember we had to blow the dust out of this. It always used to accumulate dust and the games would only work half the time. But this does have a lot of detail. To sum it up, it is a really nice build. It did keep my interest, so the build wasn't really dry and boring. There were a few areas that were a bit repetitious, and putting stickers on was a bit of a chore. But other than that though, this is a build that I wanted to see done in a good way. I wanted to see what the results would be. Build quality, yeah, I'd say it's probably average. It looks like it's solid. It's pretty well built, but this is just meant to be as a display piece. You really can't shove these in here like we did back on the original Atari and not expect these things in here to come off. And these switch things do come off sometimes, and this easily pops off. So, you know, if it looks like it works, you know, as well as this also comes off too. So it just, some parts are pretty strong, and as far as for the main console, you got to be careful on pulling this because you can pull something apart real easy. It's pretty structurally sound, but it's not built like a tank. So this will probably come apart if you're not too careful. Could this be dropped in a Lego city? It depends on what you want to drop in there. You could probably use this as a little trophy or something like that. maybe if you're doing a video game theme, or use these as billboards, or use as micro models or micro scale build models for your theme park. Right, as far as for the console and the video game caddy, not too much. So this is really just meant as a shelf hog. It's meant to be as a display piece. You wouldn't really want to use this for your city. Is the model playable? Not really. This is, like I said, this is just meant as a display piece. The only thing you could really play with, though, is the little hidden drawer here. That's the only thing, is you got a minifigure in here. But I don't think you're really meant to play with this. This is pretty unstable. So you really can't do that. But if you're into video game memorabilia, or if you're someone that's around my age and you've actually played one of these and you want to reminisce on those good old times, sure, I mean, this would be a great little addition. Now, I'm sure one can probably make more cartridges for this. If you wanted to, you can make like Pac-Man and Space Invaders. We already got Asteroids in here, and Pitfall. That's another popular side-scroller. But other than that, though, could you customize this and make it better? I'm sure you could. You could. But I mean, it's a nice little, fun little novelty piece. You could set this on a desk, or maybe one of those glass coffee tables you have in your living room. If you got a game room or a Lego room, this would be a great little novelty piece. Honestly, though, if you're looking for something with a source of parts, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a lot of plates and black bricks and plates, yeah, this set does have them. But mainly the parts are just for this. So part-wise, I would just keep this together and just display it. That's pretty much what it is. But I'm happy with the build nonetheless. It wasn't dry or boring. It was very interesting. It was a very relaxing build.